Hello, my name is Sophie, and welcome to How Many Books Do I Own? And how many of these have I read? Now, I have been asking myself this for a while, especially considering the fact that buying a book takes mere seconds, while reading the book takes considerably longer than that, especially when you're someone who reads at the pace of a blob of jelly on a flat surface. And by this I mean I read pretty darn slow. On top of this, I am also a chronic rereader, and I think there are two reasons for this. One, I have the brain of a sieve, so I do tend to forget pretty much everything that happens in a book as soon as I close it. I can just read the same thing over and over again, and I'll be surprised by what happens every time. It's kind of a skill, I think. Everyone's like, I wish I could read this book again. And I'm like, I am. I am. I've read it 3 times, but it's like I've never read it before a day in my life. Anyway, the second reason that I'm a chronic rereader is because I am a comfort reader. So there is nothing that I love more than reading a book that I know the ending of, especially when I'm stressed, which is often. As a result of these two factors, I am slightly afraid that I have more unread books than read books, because despite the fact that I feel I read a lot, I'm actually not getting through that much of the books, and the books that I'm reading are quite often books that I've already read. So I'm not actually consuming any new books, I'm just reading the same group of books over and over again. I am working on that though. I'm trying to read new books more often. So yes, I am a bit nervous about this, if I'm going to be honest. I fear it may be a rather humbling experience for me. You know. I am excited to find out how many books I own though, and who knows, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised by the number of them that I've read. Maybe I'll have to buy some more because I've read that many. Maybe, who's to say? I'll be able to say at the end of this video. But no one can say right now. Let's discuss our plan of action, because I do have quite a few books, and they're kind of everywhere. So my thought is I'll go pile by pile, and then I'll make that pile into 2 separate piles. One of books that I've read, and one of books that I haven't read, and then I will individually count each pile. So then I'll have however many books that I have read, however many books that I haven't read, and then it will add the numbers up at the end, and we will get the final tally. How does that sound? I think that sounds pretty good. So I guess let's just crack on. I'll show you the situation that we're working with and the several piles of books that we have everywhere, but I think I'll start with the bookcase, and I will take the books off of my bookcase, separate them, and then I'll go on to the random piles that we've got scattered everywhere. Okay? Okay, before we start though, I want you to let me know how many books you think I have. Put a guess in the comments. And also, I want you to guess whether or not I have read more or less than half of them. And then we will see if we're right at the end. Okay? Enough procrastinating. Let's get to it. I'm so scared. My room's gonna be such a freaking mess after this. I'm just gonna put them all on the floor. I've got nowhere else to put them. This is a terrible idea. It's like 9 p.m. Will I sleep tonight? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Okay, break. Here is the book layout situation that we've currently got going on. 1 pile, 2 piles, 3 piles, 4 piles. There's another one behind that, 5 piles. A small pile there. Cactus. We've got another pile here with a lizard on top. These are the books that I've read so far this year. Then we have 2 random ones there with some more lizards. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like sand pets. I collect them. It's my niche. And then I also have the whole of the Heartstopper series behind these plants. Another pile there and a shelf. Hey. The queen actually is over here. There she is. And then this is the bookshelf. She's very messy, so I do apologize. Don't judge. I'm thinking after this, we will have to rearrange the whole thing. And also a cactus. Gonna have to move that before we start. So I am aware that I'm gonna have to remove all of the trinkets and stuff from my bookshelf before I can even start counting the books. So I'm gonna do that first, and then we'll get into it. I'm afraid. Okay, we are all done with clearing the trinkets off of my bookshelf. Yay! Ignore the dirt. I was storing plants on there as well. So I think I'm just gonna start at the top, and I'm gonna work my way down to the bottom, and that's it. Let's do it. Okay, I have my first lot of books from the top 2 shelves of my bookcase, and I've decided I think we're gonna have books that I have read on this side and books that I haven't read on this side, okay? And the undecided will be in front. So we'll start off with these, and then I will work my way down the rest of my bookshelf, and then we will check in and see where we're at. Also, I do just want to say, some of these books, I will be guessing whether or not I've read them. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to go off vibes for those ones. If I get the vibe that I read it, then I'll put it in the Reddit pile. Reddit, the read it pile. But I think if I'm really, really unsure, I'll stick it in the I didn't read pile, because clearly it wasn't memorable enough for me to recall having read it. That's my final decision. We're not going for a 100% accuracy level here, okay? We're just going for a rough number. So if we're a little bit off, either way, it doesn't matter. We're all happy? Okay. Okay. Let's crack on. Why is there two of these? I guess I haven't read one of them, so I'm gonna have to put one of them in the not read pile. But all of these, yeah. Yeah. I need to read these at some point. But not right now. And also these. I think I should make a video where I try and read all of the fantasy series that I own that I have not yet read, because they seem to be stacking up right now. I listened to all of these books, but I have not read the physical copies of them. So I am going to put them in the unread pile, because I would like to actually read the physical books. Not a huge fan, not going to lie to you. Not my faves. That's the bookcase done. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me show you what we're looking like currently. So currently we have significantly more on the read side than we do on the unread side. That's it for the unread at the moment. But now it is time to begin the piles. Where to start? I'm just going to grab one and we're going to go. We're going to do it. There is quite a few that I'm kind of halfway through at the moment, so I'm going to put them in the unread because I haven't actually completed them. Let's just dive in. I fear this is where it all begins to fall apart. Let me twist these so you can see them. Ta-da! Because you see, the books that were on my bookcase are all, well, mostly ones that I have read before or have had for years and years and years. Now we're getting onto the piles, which are very random and filled with books that I have not read. So I was feeling pretty optimistic going through that bookcase, but I'm looking at some of these like I didn't even know I owned that. This is where we begin to be humbled. The only self-help book I have ever read in my entire life. I don't think I ever read this, but I've had it for years and years. Well, of course I have read her. What is this though? This upsets me. Why does it not? Why do we not? We couldn't have put a little bit more just to cover that bit? I feel like it's naked. I feel like it's exposed. Why is that? Ugh. Do I have 2 copies of Red, White and Royal Blue? Yes, I do. Is this one signed and a special edition? Yes, it is. Literally, shut up. Shut up. I have read this one as well as the other one because I love it. I really liked this. What's interesting to me though is that this is like really popular at the moment, hugely popular on the talk right now. And I got it at this charity shop without knowing that it was or would be super popular. And I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. It gives me interesting vibes. And I really enjoyed it. This book is gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. Halfway through this one. And also this one. Read about 2 pages of this one. This one pissed me off. I'm in the middle of this one, but I had to log into my June TBR. So I had to pause reading this. I have listened to the audiobook, but I have not read the physical one yet. So I will put it in the unread. Not that listening to audiobooks isn't reading, because it is, and I love listening to audiobooks. But I am gonna put this one in the unread because I want to have read the physical copy to say that I've read the physical copy, you know? Because technically I haven't read this book that I own, that I'm holding in my hand. This has not been read. That's gonna upset a lot of people, and I am sorry to that. Anyway, look how gorgeous that is. Wow, it's so pretty. I love a sprayed edge, I really do. I molded my entire personality around this freaking book when I was like 10. Okay, time for an update. The red pile is still looking like there's a lot more than the unread, which is chilling over here. This is an unexpected turn of events. We're still looking like we have more in the red than the unread, and I am very pleased. I'm gonna grab the next lot, but we are down 3 piles. 3 piles down, 3 more and 1 shelf to go, and then we're done. Then we can start counting. I'm starting to realise as well, I definitely could have done this in a much smarter fashion if I had just counted them as I went. But I never said that I was any good at making logical and rational decisions, did I? It wouldn't be entertaining if it was logical and rational, would it? Does it look like I have like, I've got a plant coming out of my head. Oh. Anyway, let me grab the next ones. Oh my gosh, you can see me in my glasses. Hey! This is actually going a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. But I'm thinking that once it comes to the counting, things will slow down considerably. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, next. Another one that I've listened to the audiobook of, but not read this physical copy. So she's going over here. Not my Inspector Calls book from my GCSE English. I read the heck out of this. Oh, that brings up some trauma. I low-key liked Inspector Calls though. Fun story about this. I accidentally got this copy after I already had one, but I forgot that I had it, and something just drew me to this one in this bookshop, and so I got it, and then I came home and I was like, wait, I already have it. So I've read this one, but I haven't read the other one. It's on the shelf up there. This one's still got the sticker on. It was £2. Onto the final shelf. We nearly It's looking like this is going to be a lot closer than I originally thought. This is pretty crazy. This is pretty crazy. Let's get this done. I believe I've read the Twilight segment of this, but not the life and death side of this. So I don't really know where to put it. I don't have a middle section. I'm just gonna put it in the not read, just to be on the safe side. This is the other copy of Heart-Shaped Box. I got an embarrassingly short amount of the way through this before I gave up. Castaways. We are castaways. Guys, that's it. I have every book I own on my freaking floor right now. I'm surrounded by them. Help. Let me show you what we're working with here. This is our unread pile. And this is our read piles. Oh, it just keeps going. I really think that this is going to be closer than I thought it was going to be. But it's definitely looking like maybe there might be more on the red. Possibly. But time will tell. And time will start now because we got to freaking start counting. I think I will start with the red pile. And then we will get into the unread. And we'll see who wins. Will it be the red or will it be the unread? Hey, so you know that relatable moment when you get halfway through a video in which you take every book that you own off of your bookshelves, put them on the floor, sort them into piles, and then just as you're about to start counting them, you realize that the lighting's been chopped this whole freaking time. You know that moment? Yeah, that just happened to me. So, all I can say is I am sorry that I didn't realize until now. I can't film this again. I actually just can't. Because I would have to put every single book back on the shelf and then pretend that I hadn't already done it once. It's not one of those where I can just repeat the same thing again. I would have to replace all of the books and then retake them all off and then resort them into the piles, and that just feels pointless. So I do apologise for the trashy lighting so far. Hopefully it's a bit better now. Hopefully we can see each other a bit more clearly. You can see into my soul. I'm certainly seeing into yours. Interesting. Anyway, so we're going to pretend that the lighting has been like this so far. Okay. You know, this is a learning experience for all of us. I've not filmed in this setting before. What do you think? Let me know, now that you can see. But, without further ado, let's start counting. Wish me luck. I was never that good at maths. Okay, so I've already counted 100 books. This is crazy. I did not realize I had this many. Genuinely, at the start of the video, I was scared to say that I thought I might have over 100 books. I was afraid to voice that. And here we are, not even halfway through. You guys, she's a bookworm. Okay, I'm carrying on. Oh my gosh. Okay, time for our final count of the books that I have read. Okay, I've put them into piles of 20, except for the final pile, which is a pile of 16. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 136. We are on 136. I have read 136 of the books that I own. Wow. Wow. Someone freaking remember that, okay? Let's get straight on to these ones now. The unread ones, because I must know. That is it. That is it. That is it. Final count for the books that I have not read. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 9. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No freaking way. I have read more books than I have not out of the books that I own. Applause. 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 I've read over half of the books that I own. And let me do some quick maths here. That brings my total number of books to 245. 245 books sitting on my floor as I live and breathe. Hold your damn horses. Hold them, because we need to add another 2 to that, because I have just lent 2 of my books to one of my friends, and they are 2 of the Throne of Glass books, one of which I have read, the other of which is Tower of Dawn, which I have not. So we can add 1 more to each of those. So scratch what I originally said. I now have not read 110, which is a nice round number, we like that, and I have read 137, which makes my total number of books that I own currently in this present day 247. No. Maybe? Wait. Yes. Or 247. Okay, so that's it. We found our answers to the questions that we had, and also probably the questions that we didn't, because you guys probably didn't actually really want to know this. But now, you do. You do know it. Quite frankly, you do know it. Let me know if you were anywhere close to the number of books, because I was going to guess like maybe just over 100. And we have doubled that figure. Let's get into what we've learned from this experience. Do I need to focus on reading more of the books that I currently own? Yes. But am I humbled enough to put myself on a book buying ban until I've read some more of the ones that I already have? No, I'm not, because I did think the numbers would be worse. I was definitely thinking that I was going to have not read more than I had read, but thankfully that was not the case. Waterstones, I'm coming for you. Watch yourselves. I will be there. Anyway, that basically brings us to the end of the video. I now have 247 books on my floor. I don't know what to do with them. I'm going to have to put them somewhere, but I do want to have a bit of a rearrange, a bit of a rejig of my book layout situation, so I might do that tomorrow. I'm not doing it tonight. I'm sorry. It's not happening. They're going to have to stay on my floor until the morning. But you know what? I might just make a video out of that. So stay tuned for a possible bookshelf reorganization. Where the heck am I supposed to put these freaking books video? Would you like that? Is that something that we like the sound of? Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm rambling now. It's 5 minutes past 1 in the morning. I am so tired, and that's all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, I apologise about the lighting situation in that first half. I hope that I was visible enough that you kind of got the gist of what was going on. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. Let me know in the comments if you guessed right about the number of books that I'd read compared to not. And subscribe if you want to see more of my grainy face. I promise I'll put the lamp on from now on. I swear. This was just a one-time thing. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you very soon.